Hi, and welcome back to a new episode of the greatest book club in the world, aka Book Club. Yay! And today, guys, we are on extremely special episode because today, guys, we are on episode number 312. So let's go. And you see, as you can see, for this great episode, I got a new haircut. Yes, this is my Peaky Blinders kind of haircut. And I look dope. I look savage. I look great. So guys, if you're new to the channel, welcome. And if you're already familiar with the channel, welcome back. My name is Zeki and I'm the host. And on this podcast, guys, we're working together on an English speaking level, reading level, and on our communication skill to stand in front of the camera and to communicate well for the camera. I'm doing this podcast because I truly believe that English is the number one tool that each one of us must acquire in order to be successful in life. And the second tool that is going to help us a lot is to know how to communicate well through the camera. And if you take those two skills and you combine them together, we can create great content to the internet and can influence billions of people all around the world. So I recommend to work on those stuff and to be great at them. And guys, I'm hoping that by sharing with you guys my own journey, my ups and downs, my failures, my success, by podcasting 5 episodes and releasing 5 episodes per week, I've inspired other people to do the same, maybe like you, the lady and gentlemen that are watching the podcast, maybe you. I'm inspiring you to do the same and to also work on English and to working on stuff and to make a difference because you are in this world. So let's go. And today, guys, we got this nice friend behind me. You come to the podcast, you say, okay, I got a new chain and I'm about to show it to the world. So can you please host me on your podcast? And I say, of course. There's billions of videos of people that are watching the podcast. And if you want to check out, then you can find them on 3, 2, 1, kabam! You can find them on Good Fun. This great apple, background apple to Good Fun bananas and with Mulia on 12th of September 2017 and download already 2,300 times. And of course, we like it because we love it. And if you want to download the picture, you just need to choose a resolution from here. Press download. Right click on the picture, go to שמירת תמונת בשם מיני בו עושה pictures in English and type down the comment below about it in your own language. And none of us we need to guess from where you are all around the world. It's going to be a really nice game. Press on it. Choose the moment to save it on the computer. Press save and kabam, just like that you will get this great background on the computer. So thank you very much for the artist who made this great background. And thank you very much for with Mulia for sharing it with us. And today, guys, we continue our journey with Crash It. We start chapter 4. We're going to finish chapter 4 in the same episode because I really love the podcast. I love this book. And if you want to check out Gary Vaynerchuk social media account, and I recommend to check them out. Or if you want to check out the book and it is a great background, you got all the link in the description below, so make sure to check them out and likes. And of course, guys, if any one of you, if any suggestion for making for myself for the podcast, or if any one of you want to come to the podcast, take us to the podcast, share something with the board, inspire the board, and make a difference for you. And just have a good time with me in English because I'm a really nice guy. Please let me know in the comment below so we can arrange. And guys, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section below if you learn something with the channel, maybe ask what Stas said, or maybe some life lessons that you learned from somewhere else that you want to share that you think that can enrich our life. So feel free to do it, to share it. Feel more than welcome to share in the comment section below, so all of us can enrich our life thanks to you guys. So thank you very much for improving us. And one last thing, guys, before we move to the book, if you enjoy the process, if you enjoy the episode, if you learn something with the channel, and please consider to show your support to the channel by liking the video, sharing it with friends, subscribe to the channel, and put the application bell so you're notified on each time that extremely exciting episode are coming to YouTube. And it's going to be 5 extremely exciting episodes per week. So make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, put an application bell, and share it with your friend. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 guys clicks from your side. It's really small investment from your own side. 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's really going to have a big impact on me. So thank you very much. And shout out to my 2 subscribers, to the 2 subscribers of the greatest book club in the world. And guys, before I tell you about introduction, let's just dive right into the book. So Crash It by Gary Vaynerchuk, page 39 to 45, 46 or 45. Chapter 4, a new world, new world. Read Vazamit, the legend of Anna, is the band itself. Give me some jump, please. Give me some jump, please. Give me some jump, please. So boy, AK, yeah. So let's go. Chapter 4, a whole new world. Business in the future is going to be a field day for everyone with a talent, because they will no longer be forced to exist within the confines of all the government institutions. For example, everyone who is screaming that journalism is dead because newspapers and the magazines are folding is insane. The other platforms are in trouble. But that is the best thing that could happen to journalists. The good ones, anyway. The platforms are sinking because readers are going online, which means that the ad money is going online. So of course, journalists should go online too. But the opportunity is not as a work for hire, where they scramble to earn a few bucks here, a few bucks there, and writing pieces for various online publications. No as a staff writer earning pennies, while the company keeps a disproportionate amount of the ad revenue brought in on the backs of poorly paid talent. Unlike people in most fields, journalists are constantly building brand equity through their work. So all talented journalists have to do. So all the talented journalists have to do is take advantage of the technological and the cultural shifts that are sinking their media platforms like leaky ships, go into business for themselves and crash it. I make it sound so easy, right? I know it's not, but guess what? It's the future. And those journalists and the reporters who get wise to the truth are the ones who are going to survive. Now, some reporters and journalists are probably not business savvy enough to launch a new business on their own. Those who possess that rare combination of fair entrepreneurial spirit and reporting chops could team up and form a killer online news service without any biz-dev partnership at all. They are going to win really big. But journalists with less business sense, but massive talent, won't be left out in the cold. I guarantee that as small business developers recognize the huge potential in this market, they are going to start recruiting top talent to join them in new ventures. What might those ventures look like? We've already seen that small, lean, tight business models, like political.com, real clearpolitics.com, seeking agenda, seeking alpha.com, and minyanville.com can work. The new generation of online news is going to be more democratic. Maybe we will see a 4-person journalist staff, some team up with a fifth business partner to create the dailyscoop.com. Everyone owns a 20% stake in the company. Obviously, you can have a 40% team and everyone would just own pure points. They won't report breaking news at first. And let's be honest, how much of what you read in the paper those days broke the day before online or on TV? Rather, they will focus on using social media to pump out provocative analysis. They do that for a year and build up a cash flow through advertising, which would steam in because, as we all know, money follows eyeballs. And those guys are good enough to draw a lot of viewers. With enough revenue in place, they would eventually be able to hire more great journalists and launch investigative reporting. Those reporters won't get paid $80,000 to go to Afghanistan. They will get paid a 7% equity of a $13 million per year business that is only going to grow and grow. Go to Afghanistan. They will get paid a 7% equity of a $13 million per year business that is only going to grow and grow. And some of the reporting from Afghanistan will come from someone local armed with a combination cell phone / flip cam. They are coming. You watch. Who streams the news live. Damn, Gary, you nailed it. There are lots of other ways those new businesses could play out. What is to stop the 10 most popular journalists at the Wall Street Journal from banding together in a conjunction with a business partner to create their own online all-star team? Or maybe they could launch an online newspaper in which every time an article gets a click through, the journalist who wrote it gets $2. Sure, there will be writers who might try to game the system, and the ethical questions will inevitably come up. But anyone who goes down the path is going to get exposed, guaranteed. Damn. There have always been people in every industry with hidden agendas, but now there is no place for them to hide. News is also going to get more local, and we are going to see news paparazzi. There will be a personal brand called the News Maverick, a new version of Geraldo Rivera, who becomes known for jumping fences with his cell phone / flip cam and breaking major stories. What will that be worth? Plenty. News has been functioning under a communistic regime, but capitalism always wins. Critics can argue with me and say that those new models demean the training and the insight and the education it takes to be a great journalist. And perhaps that is true. But crying about how things should be instead of embracing how things doesn't do anyone any good. Doesn't do anyone any good. The changes affecting the news business are permanent. Fundamental supply and demand is shifting. Quantity is up, price is down, which means the cost structure has to shrink dramatically. And like it or not, many people's respect for quality reporting has eroded. This upsets me as much as the next guy, but the fact is that it's a trend that is having a huge impact on business and needs to be noticed and accepted. To explore and analyze all the sides of the story with the depth it deserves, would unfortunately require way more space than this book allows. But I assure you, this is how things are going to roll. The only arguments I get in this debate, by the way, are from journalists and individuals with an emotional attachment to the idea of ink on paper and the romance of sipping a cup of coffee while reading the Sunday Times. Most business people know I'm right. If the traditional platforms are sinking ships, then journalists are sailors who need to jump. If they are not strong enough to get to the new ship, yes, they are going to drown. But those who are great swimmers, they are going to sail very, very far. That is the way business has always played and always will. It's true as the art of this book. It's true as the art of this book. The game is changing, and the opportunity is huge if you take it. The middleman has not yet been eliminated, but we are getting there. Getting there. A lot has been made of how the music and news industries have been turned upside down by internet technology. But everyone who thinks the revolution is going to stop there is naive. The massive sea change that is rocking the news industry is going to rock every industry that relies on human interaction. And can you think of any business that isn't in some way dependent on human interaction? I can't. The changes that will be brought by the internet are as fundamentally transformative to content and commerce as a printing press. It's a whole new world. Build your personal brand and get ready for it. Title: Plan your future now. If you don't plan ahead and decide where you want to go, you are in big trouble. My feeling is that no matter how much you like your job, you should aim to leave it and grow your own brand and business, or partner with someone to do so. Because as long as you are working for someone else, you will never be living entirely true to yourself and your passion. That said, I will never tell anyone to quit their job, especially if they've got other people to support. Family first. Remember. I will, however, tell you to start planning to quit your job if you can't answer yes to the following checklist. 1. Are you happy with your present job? Like really happy? Like you don't bitch and moan every Monday morning about how much you wish it were Friday night. 2. Do you work for a company that allows you to have a public persona? Either about your field or your true passion. When I'm through, I will have convinced you should be one and the same. But I will cut you some slack for now. In other words, are you allowed to have a blog, a Twitter account, or otherwise brand yourself in the public eye with an identity that is separate from that of the corporation? Some industries, like finance and law, will not allow this. If your passion is finance or law, do you love your field enough to make that sacrifice? Do you think you will love it as much in 10 or 20 years and not regret missing out all the opportunities inherent in social media? 3. If you are not allowed to develop a public persona at work, are you allowed to do so during your personal time? If you answer no to number 2 and 3, I don't care how happy you are now. You should do everything you can to find another place to work or start the groundwork to launch your own business. Because eventually you are going to suffocate. Any company that clamps down on its best talent and doesn't allow them to talk to the public is holding the talent back from where the business world is going. And you don't want to be left behind. Without the freedom to develop a personal brand, you will find yourself at a strong disadvantage to the competition that will have been pumping out the content and making a name for themselves. If you're not happy in your job, but you can still build brand equity at work or at home by blogging or creating a podcast about what you love, I still want you to plan to live and launch your own business because life is way too short to spend it working in a job you don't love. I'm not as worried about you, though, as I'm about someone who is happy but not allowed to talk to the public. Because as long as you are creating content and building your brand, you are building future opportunity. Again, because as long as you are creating content and building your brand, you are building your future opportunity. But if you are not happy at work and faceless, and they've been forbidden to talk about your passion to the world, get the hell out as soon as you can. You have got no chance otherwise of creating a personal brand. And without one, you are professionally dead in the water. Look, financial security is important. But if you love sneakers and you know more about them and are passionate about them and are more passionate about them than anyone else on earth, you can make money talking about them. I believe that with every ounce of my soul. Recently, it's on the box. Recently, Thomas Wigger announced she was quitting her day job to devote herself entirely to blonde chickenboutique.com, where she is building a passionate community of fiber growers, and artisans. She sells hand-dyed organic yarn and blogs about knitting, dyeing, and the other domestic arts. She's clearly crushing it. Why can't you? And guys, guess what? This is the end of the episode. So guys, thank you very much for joining me. I really appreciate that you choose to invest your time for me. And I can't wait to see you all in tomorrow episode of the Nagel to Book in the Board Book Club. Chapter 5, create great content. Until then, guys, have a great time. Take care of yourself and bye-bye. So today it's Monday, 14 on March 2022, and the time now is 17:05, 50. And now I'm going to Yan King. Yeah, let's go. יום שני 14/3/2022, שעכשיו 5:50, יאללה, עכשיו הולכים לסייעתי לשדר. נעשה את העלאות היומיות באינסטגרם ובטיקטוק, את המשפט היומי באינסטגרם גם, ב-AK Motivation. יאללה, נעוף לקדוש, להתראות. מחר נעשה עם צילומים גדול של כמה פרקים בהצלחה. דיברתי עם תום על המילואים וסיפרתי ביי.